Working with WRL. Coach Steve Belichick mentioned, frustration. He expects players to be frustrated, particularly on defense right now. What do you think the level of frustration in the locker room is about how you guys have played, particularly in some of the biggest games of the year?
Well, I would just say I feel like the frustration comes from, just mistakes from the little things, the little things that we just need to execute and clean up. And, that game's behind us and we're trying to get ready to prepare for our next game. The biggest thing was just communication, doing our job, and getting it done.
Was there a feeling after that Clemson game in particular, the way it started, the way it kind of went, even coming off a bye week, that how come we're not cleaning up some of these little things, some of these mistakes?
Well, like I said, we're just going to come in and build off our last game. It didn't go the way we wanted it to. As I said before, little things, execution problems, but, and it just comes from the communication. But like I said, we've been building all that, we've been fixing that, and we're preparing for our game Friday. So.
Jeremiah?
Yeah, CJ, to pull up that a little bit, obviously having a chance to kind of look at, past games, I know you're building toward the next one. In doing so, what are some ways that you think from a defensive standpoint that you guys can kind of set the tone sooner, if that makes sense? Like maybe starting faster from the defense.
Oh, well, as you said, starting off fast, and these past weeks we emphasized the little things and things that we slid up on in our past games and building off on it, staying as a unit and keeping that confidence strong because we know we have plenty of games ahead of us.
Pat?
Yeah, what do you think the mood is right now with the team? Obviously, playing on the field hasn't been what you guys hoped. There was a lot of noise last week. Kind of where are you guys at morale-wise and community-wise going forward?
We're still strong. I feel like we're excited to really, move on to our next game and really show that like we've been working towards the corrections that were needed from the past game. We're still a unity. We're still all as one. The team chemistry and team bond is still strong. So.
Shelby?
Just following up on that, who have maybe been some of the folks that have been stepping up kind of in the locker room players to keep you guys on that path, especially with all frustration?
Okay, I would say, other than me, I would say Kamori House, our starting linebacker, and Jordan Shipp and a couple of other players on the team who we consider as captains and who are really vocal and really trying to keep us as a unit close together and strong throughout this season, everything that's going on.
Next question, CJ? Jeremiah?
Yeah, I guess going off that week, some of the stuff that you enjoyed saying, things like that. I guess what you're talking about, staying together and everything like that. I guess what does that look like? Is that more so like practices or kind of after meetings? Like I guess how are they delivering that message to you guys to kind of show?
I would just say, really just holding each other to like a certain standard to like certain things that we do. And, making sure everyone's being held to accountability. Accountability is the biggest thing. And just communicating with your brother, because if we're able to do that, then we're able to really build off things and get to where we need to be as a team.
Brian?
When you committed to play for Coach Belichick, what was the sales pitch to you? And how much did you talk to Mike Lombardi, and what was that experience?
Okay. Okay. Well, we're going back.
Sorry.
Well, one of the biggest things that I talked about when I was talking to Coach Belichick was just really, how I would be developed here and, what the things I've been learning. And everything that we talk about, I feel like has happened. I feel like I've developed on and off the field. I've developed, not just physical, but mentally and like my IQ into the game. And like I said, it's been a little minute, but I don't remember much from my talk with Coach Lombardi, but it was a good talk that also really helped me get me here. He was, a good guy, straightforward, and we had a great conversation.
Shelby?
Just following up on that specifically, how you said physically, mentally, that sort of thing, but any specific examples of ways that you feel like you developed as a player so far?
I would say my football knowledge has developed a lot, because Coach Belichick is big on the little things, and is big on not just knowing what you have to do, but the person beside you, behind you, and also doing what the offense is doing as well, or having an idea.
Noah?
With the things that circulated last week, were any like Kamori or Jordan, did you guys have a big team sort of meeting just to make sure that everyone's staying focused? And were those same guys the ones that were sort of leading that?
Yeah, I guess you can say that. We always check in with each other. See where everybody heads is at the end of the day, just to make sure that we're ready, straightforward, and just doing our best to really prepare for our next game.
Shelby?
Yeah, I guess just really quick following up on that, like, was there a specific meeting, say like a players only meeting, or was it just more kind of a series of conversations?
I guess like I said before, it was just we was able to really build on it, talk about it, address it, move on from it, and get ready for Cal.
Just I guess,
Go ahead.
really quick follow up on that, kind of going back to the frustration that Brian was asking about, how have you maybe seen like frustration emerge for you guys like in the locker room, and how do you guys want to maybe channel that towards, something productive?
Well, I mean, I would say frustration comes with being an athlete, and I feel like we are very competitive. We all want to win, but like, as I said before, we're coming together as a unit. We're coming to practice, fixing the mistakes that occurred, and getting ready for the next game.
And last one for Adam.
CJ, I hear you on saying, coming together, facing mistakes. When a team is struggling, fans, want to see big changes. Like, what would you say, just in your opinion, has needed to change defensively from some of the things that have been tripping you guys up? Like, what's your take on that?
Change, I wouldn't say change. I would just feel like there's just things that we just got to fix. As in, like, there's like the little communication errors and like the little things, like just coming together, executing, doing our jobs. That's about it. And like I said, we've been emphasizing that a lot, and we're prepared for Friday.
And just to follow up real quick, what were the things that stood out to you about the start against Clemson? I mean, it was 28-3 at the end of the first quarter. Obviously, not a good start. Like, what jumped out to you about the way you guys played and what you didn't do?
Can you ask that one time?
What stood out to you about the way you guys played early against Clemson? It's a big deficit very quickly, 28-3 at the end of the first quarter. Like, what stood out to you about what you weren't able to do as a defense that led to hitting all the big plays and just getting out to such a huge lead?
I mean, well, obviously, the game didn't start the way we wanted to, but we was able to go back out there and finish the game strong. Looking at that game, it was a little, like as I said before, little mistakes and little errors that we've been fixing in these past weeks. So.
Perfect. Good stuff. Thanks so much.
Target 24/7. Did you have any conversations with Caleb before you learned the news that he would retire? And I guess, how did he help you, if at all, transition from Michigan to here and during that whole process?
Right. Caleb was always just a real positive force on the team, always upbeat, and just had a real love for the game and love for the guys. And so, I was blessed to spend time with him, always going to be a Tar Heel. And, we miss him for sure.
Did you have any conversations with him, I guess, leading up, or how did you find out the news, I guess?
I think we like to keep that in-house, but, he's a real good factor on this team. We miss him for sure, and big void on the team for morale.
Next question for Ben. We'll go there.
Ben Adam Smith with Inside Carolina. Just wondering how your hand is. I'm sure the extra time off has been good for it. I know you've played with extra padding and things like that. Like, just give us an update on that, how it's feeling.
All right, I'm feeling good. Everything's going well in that process. Blessed by God to be able to heal. The doctors have kind of had to pull me back at times and just make sure I'm on the right track. But hands feeling good, and we're just excited to keep moving forward in that process.
Did you do that in practice? We had heard that you might be out for like a long time when you did that.
No, it's something that happened like earlier in the season in one of the earlier games. But just never missed a beat. Always practicing, always playing. So just trying to do the best I can to help this team.
Pat?
Hey, how's it going? Pat, welcome to last week, obviously, a loss Saturday, and then follow up with just kind of what the reports and noise. How did that affect you guys? And have you seen any changes, whether like literal changes being made like outright, versus also maybe like more subtle changes and just how people are acting?
Right. Guys just picking up the urgency. We got a lot of new people in new positions on this football team, and so, it's a process to try to get better each and every day, and I think we're doing that. We're on the right track, and so it's only a matter of time before everything unfolds the way we'd like it to.
Grant Sasser, Tar Heels on the side. You were a part of the 2023 national championship team at Michigan, and during the time you dealt with some issues because Jim Harbaugh was suspended for a good period of time, and of course there's a lot of noise around the program. Just from that experience, how's that helped you in this situation when you have the cornerbacks coach Ramon Hawkins gets suspended, and of course you got a lot of negative attention around the program?
I mean, all that's just noise. We know who we are as a team. We know who we want to be as a team. And so we're here working every day to be the best version that we can be, put that extra work in. And I think we've had some real good practices, and we're feeling good high morale. And so we're just going to keep moving forward each and every day, trying to be the best we can be.
Brian?
Hey, Ben, Brian Murphy with WRL. I wondered about the quarterback situation. Obviously, Gio didn't play last week, and Max did. How confident are you that either one of those guys can get the job done? Do you get a sense that it might be one or the other?
I love our whole quarterback room. Gio Lopez, Max Johnson, Bryce Baker, Otori Newkirk. We have Andy and we have DJ in there as well. Just a real good group of guys, and I'm confident that whoever's out there is going to make the plays needed to help us win that game.
Did you see anything out of Max in that Clemson game?
He just showed his toughness. We got a tough room of guys. Gio's tough, Tori's tough, Bryce is tough. All our guys are tough, and so as we continue to build, we just want to put the best guy out there.
Jeremiah?
Yeah, Jeremiah Holloway with South Carolina. Then I wanted to ask you, with you and in June, you guys have been kind of getting most of the reps the last couple of games and things like that. I guess how would you kind of evaluate the, productivity from you guys? What you would like to see change and see kind of be, more effective on a down-by-down basis?
I like where we are. I like when we're running the ball downhill. I think that's a good point of our offense when we're running that ball downhill, and I think as we continue to grow as an offense, we can do more of that. And so just hoping to continue to grow as an offense and continue to do more of running the ball downhill. I think we got guys in the room that can do that. Me, June, Bullet. We got young guys like Jalen McGill. We got Charleston French. This whole room of guys who can get the job done. And so I'm confident that any of us can go out there and make plays needed to win.
And then with you guys, with you two kind of getting it, how do you feel your games kind of, complement each other? I think the Clemson game, you guys pretty much split the same amount of carries. How do you feel your games are, complementing each other?
I think we're both good runners, just people that can go out there and make the plays needed, whether it's catching the ball, running the ball, picking up and pass pro. And so, I think we're just two guys that can go out there and get the job done. I don't think it's necessarily a complimentary thing, but it's just two good running backs who can go out there and make plays for our team.
Shelby?
So I'm curious, just, you said it earlier, kind of in responding to maybe some of the noise, whether guys may be picking up the urgency. Just want to follow on that, clarify exactly what you meant by that, or if there are any examples of that.
Yeah, just, we have a lot of new guys on this team, and you can't gel overnight. And so as we're continuing to move on through the season, bond is built through fire and built through hard times. And so as we go through these hard times, we're continuing to build that bond of brothers on this team. And the urgency is picking up just because we know what we have to do to take that next step.
Just following up on something you were asking CJ about, just from your perspective, who have been maybe some of the players, guys in the locker room that are, stepping up to,
Right.
I guess, lead you guys through the fire?
I think it's everyone's picking up the urgency. On a football field, it's 11 guys all trying to do the same thing on the same page. And so you can't just lean on one guy to pick up the urgency, but it's kind of everyone just, handling their business and doing what they need to do to help this team win games.
Any players in the league?
We'd like to keep that in-house, but I think overall we're just growing as a team and growing as players.
Brian?
Yeah, CJ mentioned that there was a lot of talks in the locker room. Didn't necessarily say what they were about, but
Right.
that players were talking to each other and trying to work through whatever it is that you guys are going through. Did you get that sense as well, that the lines of communication among the players have been opened up a little bit?
Yeah, I think we've always been talking. Like I said, with a bunch of new guys on the team, you got to have those talks. And I think as we're continuing to go throughout this season, we're continuing to communicate and growing in that and becoming more open with each other. And that's kind of a big thing to help us continue to move forward and gel and put some wins in the win column.
I asked CJ the same question, but what attracted you to come play for Bill Belichick? And
Right.
what were your conversations like with Mike Lombardi in that process, that transfer process?
For me, it was like the initial reason I went to the last school I was at. You know, a really good head coach and a position coach who played the game at the highest level, and so I went from Coach Harbaugh and Mike Hart to, I'm here with Coach Belichick and Nature and Means, and so it's just a really great system for me because I'm being taught by people who've done it at the highest level, whether that's coaching or playing, and I think I found a great place for me to be.
And any conversations that you had with Mike Lombardi during that transfer process about the deals of it all and getting here to North Carolina?
Right. I mean, I think the biggest thing that kind of got me here was just, being here with Belichick and my position coach, and, I wouldn't want it any other way.
Trayvon?
Hey, Trevor Miles from ABC. The Coach Kitchen has talked about the fact that you all were improving, just not necessarily showing up on the scoreboard.
Right.
How much is the offense, you guys' group in particular, just itching to kind of break out?
Yeah, we think it's only a matter of time, We're getting better every day. The energy's picking up, and guys are gelling. And I wouldn't say that we're worried about the result as much as we are just showing up every day and being the best that we can be, because at the end of the day, that's all you can do.
And then how close do you think you guys are to,
Right.
to putting on the production that you guys think you can be?
I think it's only a matter of time, It's not in our hands, it's in God's hands, like most things are, but I think it's only a matter of time. You just got to keep pressing each and every day.
Got time for two more. We're going to go to Adam, and then Rod's going to close us out.
Yeah, Ben, right along those lines, I was going to say, you were mentioning Harbaugh. I was going to ask, you've played some big boy football in your career,
Right.
played on a national championship team. If you could take a step back, maybe from the day-to-day around here, how would you measure where this program is in terms of becoming a winning program? Like, I mean, you've seen it. Like, how far do you think this program has to go? And how far away is it?
Right. I mean, I think we have a lot of new people doing new things, like I said earlier, and so it's just a process of daily, just doing your daily deposits. Showing up on time for lifts, working hard in the weight room, working hard on the practice field, and at the end of the day, that's all we can do is show up every day and work as hard as we can. And like I keep saying, like the vibe around here, the energy around here is really good. So it's only a matter of time until things fall our way. And I think that's showing up in practice, showing up in the film room, and just guys are hungry here. Guys want to get the job done, and so we're going to keep attacking every day and get the job done.
And last one for Rod.
Yeah, Ben, Rob Baxley, Fayetteville Observer. Going off of Adam's question, you've obviously been a part of the championship program. What are those championship traits, and as a player, how do you relay that in a program that's trying to build toward that?
Right. The biggest thing is culture. At the end of the day, you can only go as far as the players will take you. And so, as players, we have to continue to grow on and off the field, and we're doing that daily, and we're going to continue to do that. And so, I don't think there's any other way to put it. And we're taking the steps necessary to get the job done. So I'm proud of where we are as a team. I'm proud of the guys. I'm proud of the coaches. And I think as we continue to go throughout this season, we're going to continue to take those steps forward. And so I'm blessed to be here. And ultimately, I want to thank God that I'm here, and I want to thank God that He put me in this environment because I've grown so much being here. I'm blessed to be around the guys, the coaches, Coach Belichick, Coach Means, and truly just humble under God and blessed to be in front of you all as well. So thank you, guys.
Perfect. Good stuff.
Thanks, man. Good one.